Hi, Assalamualaikum. Let me introduce myself and my other group members. My name is Nur Fatiha binti Kamaruddin. I'm the first presenter.
My name is Zatil Husna binti Haya. I am the second presenter to present about TQM.
And my name is Nur Shafiqa binti Azman. I am the third presenter.
I'm Nur Nadira bint Ibrahim and I presented number 4.
So, let's start with history of total quality management. In 1920s, as the ideas of scientific management swept through US industry, some of the first seeds of quality management were planted. Businesses clearly separated the planning and execution processes, leading to union opposition as workers were denied a say in the condition and function of their jobs. The Houghton experiment in the late 1920s showed how worker productivity could be impacted by participation. In 1930s, the Western Electric Company Houghton facility examined illumination level, workday length, and rest period length to enhance output in the 1930s. Researchers discovered that brighter lighting boosted worker productivity during the lighting level experiments. When the lighting level was reduced, meanwhile, worker productivity increased as well. Also during 1930s, Walter Schulhart developed the methods for statistical analysis and control of quality. In the 1950s, Edward David taught statistical methods and Dr. Juren taught quality management technique to the Japanese. Total quality control was written by Armand Feigenbaum. This was the foundational work for several total quality management theories. Also during 1950, Phillips B. Crosby's promotion of zero defects paved the way for quality improvement in many companies. Douglas McGregor developed the theory at and theory Y leadership paradigm in the 1960s. A theory A leader takes a negative outlook on management. They presume that most employees despise their job and want to avoid jobs. Workers, according to a theory Y leader, want to do a great job. They believe workers will provide answers to problems and take part in problem-solving activities. Company-wide quality control, as the Japanese call their approach to complete quality. Around this period, the term quality management system is born. Japan's rise as a quality leader was aided by Kaoru Ishikawa's intellectual synthesis. This philosophy drove Japan to the word quality leader in the 1970s. Japan is still the quality leader for the most part. The world, on the other hand, has closed the gap dramatically. The term TQN was invented by US Naval Air System in the 1980s. The majority of the Navy ideas were based on the Japanese total quality control approach. During the 1980s, many businesses implemented TQM. TQM took off like a wildfire. Many businesses experienced considerable increases in the productivity. Many businesses, on the other hand, began the program and failed terribly because they were unwilling to change. During 1990s, experts launched new TQM supporting methods. Lean manufacturing and Six Sigma are two examples. Organizations can now obtain ISO 9001 certification. For the United States, the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award was established. This award is given by MB and QA auditors to firms who demonstrate the best quality management technique. As for today, the notion of a wide and systematic approach to managing organizational quality is known as TQM. TQM is defined by quality standards such as the ISO 9000 series as well as quality award programs such as the Deming Prize and the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. As international standard for quality management has been created, the TQM as a word to define an organization quality policy and practice has fallen out of favor. Total quality management, or also known as TQM, is defined as a management strategy that focuses on long-term performance through customer satisfaction. There are at least 5 of characteristics of TQM. The first one is customer is most important. In TQM, the customer is given top attention. Under the TQM approach, there is no compromise on customer satisfaction. The entity must make every effort to ensure client pleasure. Second, system of controls. TQM needs a proper control strategy within the organization. It's fair to say that without such a system, total quality is impossible to achieve. At every level of an organization, an effective control strategy is necessary. Third, prevention than detection. Total quality management focuses on prevention rather than being recognized and fixed. Product defects should be avoided because there are several expenses involved with detection and adjustment. Organizations should avoid incurring. Number 4, roles and responsibility defined. In total quality management, roles and responsibility are well defined. Quality obligations are clearly defined and communicated to all parties involved. The tasks of quality management responsible personnel are also effectively articulated. The last one, wastage and losses not desirable. The total quality management system states that the smallest amount of wastage is acceptable. However, abnormal losses and wastage are not acceptable for any cost. It is worth noting that while some losses are inseparable in nature, TQM allows for them. Well, that's all from me. Now I'm passing to the next presenter, Husna.
First of all, I would like to give a short overview of my presentation. I will start with the objectives of TQM and then the implementation of TQM. So let's begin with the objectives of TQM. The first objective is total customer satisfaction. As you may know, TQM actively includes every function and employee in meeting the needs of all customers, both internal and external. Besides, TQM acknowledges that the customer is at the center of every activity. Secondly, totality of functions. Every department and sector of a company is actively involved in TQM. So, TQM ensures that each department operates at peak production. Thirdly, TQM also includes total range of products and services in their objectives. The fourth objective is to address the quality aspect in everything. TQM examines the quality of an organization's products, services, processes, people, resources, and interactions. To illustrate, TQM is based on a culture in which everyone contributes in quality improvement. However, they must first recognize this aspect and have the necessary skills and tools to do so. The fifth objective is to promote a transparent leadership process. This is to guide the organization to success in its chosen business field. Next, to improve profits, as well as creating additional revenue or businesses for the future. On the other hand, the objective of TQM is to involve everyone in the organization. It is done by developing an organization in which people are at the center of all activities and are encouraged and empowered to work in groups to achieve objectives. Last but not least is to demand total commitment from all in the organization towards the achievement of the objective. The organization is guided by its values, vision, mission, and goals, which are established through the strategic planning process. Now we will be moving on to the implementation of TQM. The first implementation is to shift the corporate culture regarding the importance of quality. To highlight this, if a corporation prioritizes quality in its manufacturing process, fewer difficulties will arise later when the product is in the hands of the consumer. Customer surveys are one method for measuring product performance and quality, and they can assist managers in identifying design or manufacturing issues. Secondly, formation of internal team alliances. Internal team alliances are formed in order to improve quality, processes, and projects, as well as external partnerships with customers and suppliers. Next, the organization can implement audits to assure quality techniques. Based on the data obtained during the audit, the goals are to establish the effectiveness and efficiency of each process in meeting its objectives, to communicate these results to employees, and to develop new best practices and processes. Lastly, removal of obstacles to successful implementation of TQM, such as lack of time or money in the short run.
So now let's discuss about 8 principles of TQM. So, the first principle of total quality management is customer focus. This principle stress that an organization should understand its customers, like what they need and when they need it, while trying to meet and exceed their expectation. As such, revenue is increased and waste reduced when a business seeks opportunity to satisfy its customer. The second principle of total quality management is leadership. Good leaders help to unite an organization and give people a sense of direction. They will create and nurture an environment where everyone's views are given careful consideration in charting a course to the organization objective. Therefore, without clear leadership, an organization loses its direction. So the third principle is people involvement, where people are the essence of any organization existent. Research has shown that when people understand the importance of their contribution and role in an organization, they become innovative, eager to participate, and creative in furthering the organization objective. Hence, the principle help to bridge the gap of communication from management to employees. Then, the fourth of the 8 principles of TQM is a process approach. This principle states that an organization achieves its desired result where related resources and activities are managed as a process. Therefore, this approach focuses on efficiency, effectiveness, consistency, and understanding. So, the fifth of the 8 TQM principle is the system approach to management. ISO defines this principle as identifying, understanding, and managing interrelated processes as a system contribute to the organization effectiveness and efficiency in achieving its objective. Then, the sixth of TQM principle is continuous improvement. Businesses that thrive are those that keep adjusting to new market situation. Therefore, the principle of continuous improvement should be a permanent objective of any organization. The seventh principle of TQM is the fact based on decision making. This principle involves effective decision and action based on available data. Decision based on fact improve understanding not only the product or service but also the marketplace as a whole. The last but not least of the 8 principles of TQM is mutually beneficial supplier relationship. This principle identifies the independence of organization from their suppliers. In addition, it ensures its mutually beneficial relationship between the two will enhance productivity and encourage working value. There will be some advantages and disadvantages that you guys can see in this slide. So we will discuss about the left side first, which is advantages. The first one is emphasizing the need of the market. TQM helps in highlighting the needs of the market, and its application is universal and help the organization to identify and meet the need of the market in a better way. And the second one is assure better quality performance in every sphere of activity, like adverse and non-participative attitude of the employee are the biggest obstacle in the organization's success, also growth and advancement. Besides, TQM stresses on bringing attitudinal changes and improvement in the performance of employees by promoting proper work culture and effective teamwork. Then the number 3 is help in tracking non-productive activities and waste. For your information, every organization aims at improving productivity as well as reduction in costs. As a result, it increases in profitability. And the number 4 is helpful in meeting the competition. Like TQM techniques are greatly helpful in understanding the competition and also developing an effective combating strategy. Due to cutthroat competition, the survival of many organizations has become a very vital issue. Last but not least is help in developing an adequate system of communication. Like faulty and inadequate communication and improper procedure act as stumbling blocks in the way of proper development of an organization, and its result is misunderstanding, low productivity, poor quality, duplication of efforts, and low morale. For QM techniques, bind together members of various related sections, departments, and level of management for effective communication and interaction. Then let's take a look on the right side, which is disadvantages. So the first one is production distraction. By implementing a total quality management system in a company, it requires training of employees, and this requires them to take some time off their day-to-day work duties. While the improvement do reduce sleep time, eliminate waste, and improve productivity. The beginning stages of implementing total quality management system in an organization can reduce worker output. So, the second one is employee resistance. Total quality management requires change in mindset, attitude, and methods for performing their job. When management does not effectively communicate the team approach of total quality management system, their workers may become fearful, which leads to employee resistance. Next is quality is expensive. TQM is expensive to implement. This is because implementation often comes with additional training costs, team development costs, infrastructural improvement costs, consultant fees, and others. And the fourth is discourages creativity. TQM focus on task standardization to ensure consistency, discourages creativity and innovation. Thus, it also discourages new ideas that can possibly improve their productivity.
TQM have 4 techniques. The first one is quality improvement teams, defined as excellent solution to problems that arise in business, because when you have a team of individuals focused on quality, they are bound to be more effective than one person. So, what is the objective of these techniques? It's to learn what the strength of each team members based on their skills. So, there is one slogan about these techniques. There is 2 heads better than 1. The second technique is cost of quality analysis. It used to evaluate potential cost saving related to doing work for the first time. It also prevents cost of poor quality. So there is 2 main components. The first one is the cost of poor quality effect. It's involved internal and external. And the second one is the cost of good quality effect. The third technique is benchmarking. This process involves identifying the best practice and approach by comparing productivity in specific areas within one's own organization with other organizations, both internal and external of the industry. So there is 2 objectives of benchmarking. The first one is to identify the best practice in performing an activity, and the last one is to learn how other companies have actually achieved lower cost or benchmark activities. The last technique is training. Training is a vital technique for TQM because every employee must have a proper technique and tools to perform. It's to improve the quality achievement of product. One of the techniques the company use is constant training. The function of training is allow staff to empathize with customer or to use company system more effective. Now we move to approach. Okay, the first approach is Kaizen and quality control circles. Kaizen is from Japanese word which means continuous improvements. The approach assumes that employees are the best person to identify room of improvement. Company always use these techniques to encourage and reward employee their contribution of process. So there is 2 key features. The first one is small improvements are less likely to require major capital investment than major or process change. And the second one is all employees should continually by seeking ways to improve their own improvement. The second approach is 6 Sigma. This statistical thinking under 6 Sigma has 3 principles. The first is all work in process. Second, all process have variability. And the third, all process create data that explain variability. The last approach should be the best possible. Is combination of product and add-on such as packaging, availability, convenience of use, and value of doing customer service. This is the best technique to performing an activity or business process. The approach also proves that it can significantly lowering costs, improving quality or performance, shortening time requirement, enhancing safety, or delivering some other highly possible operating outcome. For example, we use Toyota Corporation. Toyota Corporation use implementations of cabin system. Toyota Corporation use this concept to execute just-in-time system and receive just enough inventory to hand a customer order. For conclusion, total quality management is practiced by many business organizations around the world. It is a proof method for implementing